When I first saw The Kids Are All Right, I was thrilled to see a movie depict a family just like mine. My younger brother and I were raised by two moms, who each used the same sperm donor to conceive us. I was 15 when it came out, and I felt seen in a way I rarely had before. The movie also allowed me to imagine what it might be like once I turned 18 and could meet my own donor.
Yeah, I mean, we understand that you'd be curious about your biological father. I mean, it's completely natural. But why didn't you tell us?
Now, nearly 5 years after I actually did meet him, the movie's take on this relationship disturbs me and makes me wonder if it actually did more harm than good to how people view families like mine. The Kids Are All Right follows Nick and Jules, a married lesbian couple, and their kids, Joni and Laser. When Joni turns 18, she contacts Nick and Jules' sperm bank to meet her and Laser's donor, Paul. The family is skeptical of Paul, but the kids start spending more time with him, and the moms eventually come around. As the title implies, The Kids Are All Right initially focuses on Joni and Laser processing their relationships with their donor and parents, but the plot quickly takes an unfortunate detour when one of the moms, Jules, starts having an affair with Paul.
Ooh. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
Suddenly, a movie that was supposed to be about a lesbian couple's kids becomes a lusty heterosexual romance. The trope of a lesbian seduced by a straight man is invalidating enough on its own, but it's especially frustrating to see this family's unique dynamic be subsumed by an overheated affair.
Hey, Joni, it's Paul.
Toward the end of the movie, Nick and the kids learn about the affair.
You're sleeping with him, aren't you?
Which leads to a family breakdown. Incredibly, Paul tries to convince Jules to leave Nick and move in with him.
I just say we go for it. I mean, it's all out in the open now. Let's just do this thing.
Paul! Joni and Laser are obviously devastated.
You're a shitty person.
This was a key fear some people expressed when I told them of my plans to meet my sperm donor. The worst case scenario, in many people's minds, was that I'd end up meeting the guy and he'd turn out to be a terrible person.
So, everything that happened between us, what was that? That was just bullshit?
Why would you risk that, they'd say. I didn't listen to them. The day I turned 18, I filed paperwork to learn who my donor was, and 3 weeks later, my brother and I met him. It ended years of wondering about who he was and what he was like. Unlike Nick and Jules, my parents weren't jealous or insecure about it.
Like, we're not enough or something, you know?
They knew I wasn't looking to replace them, and my donor already had a partner and kids. He wasn't looking to insert himself into my family. Learning who my donor was didn't radically alter my life. It simply taught me more about myself and where I came from, which was why when I rewatched The Kids Are All Right, it made me sad to see Joni and Laser so hurt by their donor and see the movie play to the most lurid fantasies of what that experience is really like.
Now you can show everyone what a perfect lesbian family you have.
Almost a decade after its release, the movie has become an inescapable reference point for people trying to make sense of my family. There are very few movies out there that portray lesbian couples, and even fewer about sperm donation, so it's disappointing that the one mainstream film about the kids' point of view dwells on such an unlikely scenario.
I just wish that you could have been...
What?
better.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard, "Your life is just like The Kids Are All Right." Really, no, it's not, because neither of my parents would ever think of having an affair with their sperm donor, for one thing. There's so much more complexity to our lives, and there could have and should have been in this movie, too.